What's up, guys? It's Wero. Locked in. And today we got Prince KT locked in. So I know everybody knows him, but if you want to know more about him, now's the chance. So I'll bring him out.
Yes, sir.
What's up, big homie?
Hello. I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Living life.
Yeah,
Going hard. As usual. Just being Kenny
feel
Twitch.
I feel you. And we're gonna talk about all that too. Because a lot of people don't know Kenny Twitch, man. They don't know Kenny Twitch. They just know
They
KT.
don't even know what they don't even know what KT stands for. And it's okay.
Mhm.
We'll get into it today.
So yeah, let's jump right into it. What's up, King Madness, Buddy V? How you doing, big homie?
I see there's people in here. What up?
Yeah. So to start out with, where are you from? Where were you born? Where were you raised?
So I'm from Mesa, Arizona, born and raised in from Mesa to Florence, Arizona in the summer times, which I was going back and forth with my mom and dad. I didn't meet my dad till I was like 10. So everything I learned growing up happened in Florence. Like being a man, that's Florence, Arizona. So I like to say I'm from Florence, Arizona because my mom didn't really live with us. She lived with her boyfriend 2 houses down, and my sister, who was 10 years older than me, took care of me and my brother at the house 2 houses down. So yeah, it was a whole thing.
How many siblings do you have? And did she have more than you, or was it just you?
Yeah, if we're looking at my mom's side, it's my brother Cody, my sister Carissa, and then me and my brother. And then me and my brother Devo are the only full brother. That's the only full sibling I have. The rest on my dad's side, he has 14 kids, with me being one of them, so 13 other siblings. So
what'd you say his name was? Your brother?
David. Oh, my Devo.
Devo. I thought you said Debo.
No, it comes from football. His name's Devon, but obviously my real name is Davian, and nobody calls me by it anymore. But back in the day, they used to call me by it all the time. So if you had Devon and Davian on the football field, they got confused all the time, especially because we look like twins. We're right next to the same age group. So they just started calling them Devo.
Makes sense.
Devo Lottie got more head than he got body. You know what I mean?
So, growing up, you obviously play football, quite a few other sports. What'd you get into? And what got you into just athletics? Is you just always a natural athlete, or did something?
I'm a Neil boy. I mean, this is 200%. I'm a Neil boy. If you look at my family logo from my dad's side, I mean, I could post it one of these days. It's literally in our family logo that it's football, fighting, and fucking. That's what we're raised off of. That's like our family principles. FFF.
Well, you say family logo, like your family has a legit logo.
There's a legit. So, like I said, I'm from a big old family. Florence, Arizona is pretty much 90% Neil's shit. It's a Neil boys, and then you got that written out, and then right under you'll see a football player, a boxer, and then a guy with a girl in doggy style. It's FFF, football, fighting, fucking. That's what we're known for.
And how long has that logo been around?
Generations, man. I'm a third generation Neil, so fourth gen. I have a son, so fourth generation's just getting started and all that good stuff.
So, who designed that? Who put that?
Yeah,
together?
Florence was the go first.
It's like a coat of arms, huh?
Yeah. Honestly, my dad comes. Okay, so my dad had 14 kids himself, but he comes from a family of 14 kids where they all lived on the ranch together. They all worked every day, and most of them are boys. And they all played football. And like I said, if you look through Florence, Arizona's history, you're going to see a lot of Neil, a lot of record breaking. My dad played for the Broncos until he busted his knee. You're going to see a lot of fucking records held by Neils, Golden Gloves, all sorts of shit. So they just came up with it through the years of football, fighting, and impregnating women. That's how they came up with it, man. I mean, that's my family logo.
So that's nuts. I don't know anybody who has a family logo.
Yeah,
like you hear about the old coat of arms and shit like that, but I don't know about like a legit family logo. It
was cool during football and stuff. You know, being a Neil, they just know you're a Neil. That guy, he comes from this family. He probably plays pretty good. But at the same time, coaches will look at you like, okay, you can either be one of the Neils that are going to be a hard head, or you're going to be a Neil that's just a fucking absolute beast. And unfortunately, I'm a Neil that's a hard head.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Okay. So what sports did you specifically play? Like, what was your?
Me was basketball, baseball, and football. That was my sports. I played football for about 5 years before I picked up baseball. And when I picked up baseball, it was like, oh my God, this kid can play. So I got real heavy into just football and baseball for a while. And basketball was always something I just did, like summer tournaments and YMCA, all sorts of shit. Mm-hmm. Until high school came and 8th grade came, and it was playing 3 sports at the same time. And Mesa High School, I don't know if you know out here, they're beasts at basketball out here. Yeah. So I chose not to play basketball anymore come freshman year and didn't play again until senior year. So it was pretty much just baseball and football. But baseball was a big deal because I was supposed to go to San Diego State. It was a whole bunch of stuff. I was a pretty good baseball player.
What position?
I was a third baseman, but coming up in junior high and stuff, I was a catcher, and that's where I got most of my scouts. So after I broke my leg in a football game and had to switch up positions, it all changed up for me. And then third base, I still had scouts, but like I said, it was San Diego State. It wasn't like the same. Yeah, it wasn't the same sport to me after that, to be honest with you. It was just like
how'd you break your leg?
I was playing quarterback, and I'm a little bit of a ball hog, and coaches used to tell me to drop. I played on a terrible team, right, where I was like literally the only kid that had experience. This was the team that you played on before you went to high school for Mesa High, and they had me at quarterback, and they gave me the ball every single play. Well, this is the literal last game of the season, and my mom's like, don't carry the ball every play if they tell you to. We want to make it to next season because I'm going to high school. She's like, we want to make it to next season. You got baseball and all this. They're going to end up hurting you. You're going to get injured. Sure enough, that game, I'm scrambling out, punt fake, take off down the right side, and I go to hurdle somebody, and I get over them. But as soon as I land, the other person comes and takes my knee out, and it's just gone. My femur bone was fractured right above the growth plate. I mean, it was like 6 centimeters from hitting the growth plate. And I would have lost my leg. So, yeah, I messed my thing up. Yeah.
Yeah. And
so, like, whenever you guys see me doing backflips and stuff and you guys are telling me to tuck and stuff, I got 2 metal rods through my knee right now that are never coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you about as tucked as you're going to get.
Yeah, I'm about as tucked as I can go.
Yeah. So, okay. So, but you still had scouts from SDSU. What happened there? Why didn't you run that?
Senior year happened there. If we're looking at my school, okay, we got to go through the whole high school experience. I'm what they call a special ed kid. I'm a remedial kid, right? So I had remedial classes, special ed, whole sorts of shit. Mm-hmm. When I ended up getting kicked out of Dobson for beating the kid up because he wanted to wait too long after school for one of my girlfriends, so I ended up getting off the bus and beating his ass. Long story short, they kicked me out of Dobson High School, which was the second school I had to go to out in Mesa, Arizona. So my mom pretty much was fed up with me at that point. She sent me out to my dad's house. Dad tries to enroll me in Florence High School. They say I could play sports there, but I can't go there. I got to go to the alternative school. Dobson ruled me too dangerous to be around normal kids because when I was in high school, tomfuckery just wasn't something for me. You just say some stupid shit. I was just like, all right, you're fucking dumb. I'm the same me I've always been. I've been this way since high school. So I'm kind of an asshole is like what it was.
That was my question right there.
Yeah.
Growing up and having matured, ideally, you seem like you have. Would you say you were just a bit of an asshole back in the day?
I don't like people. I mean, I was a very social person. I like to hear your stories and stuff, but like when it comes to people acting like I owe them something or anything, I don't like people because, I don't like people. I'm a lot like my dad, and I just think I pick up off him. The way he treats people and the way people give him love back, I ain't see nothing wrong with it. So if my life ends up like that, there's nothing wrong with it for me. I'm a very blunt person. I'm a very fucking blunt person. It gets on people's nerves.
Okay. So trust me, if anybody knows how that goes.
Right.
With me.
Right.
So next question. When you say remedial, did you have learning disabilities or was it your attitude that kept you in those
ADHD, ADD, ODD, and bipolar. On top of that, I got a little bit of reading problems, not big because I learned how to rap. Learned how to rap from my reading problems, but that's a whole nother thing. Yeah, I was in special ed classes, wheelchair kids, Down syndrome kids. I'm a special ed student. Like for a long time, it was pressed as like I have mild autism, but I don't believe it. It's not my thing.
So I can see the ADHD because I was diagnosed myself. My son was diagnosed. I know what it looks like. So I could see that.
Yeah.
But also I think having a lot of those outlets helps that. Having that sports outlet helps that.
And when we talk about bipolar, I mean bipolar. I mean, I've thrown helmets at coaches. Sports was a good outlet, but it also was where you would see the full-on demon come out of this kid, and
So for the people that are listening and watching right now, some people don't truly understand what it means to be bipolar.
Right.
In your words, in your experience, tell us what that's like.
I can be sitting here right now smiling with you, walk off this podcast and step on a pile of piss from my dog, and I swear to you, I'll be ready to kill somebody. I just can't control it. I'm on the top. I go 1 to 10. It doesn't. There's no in between. Mm-hmm. If I'm angry, you know I'm angry. If I'm the slightest bit of mad, you know. It's just no hiding it for me.
So is there a switch that just flips, or is there a gradient?
I don't even know if I would call it a switch because like I had a lot of ways I cope. So I go real quiet. And then if I hear something else, it don't matter what you say to me. You could say hi to me. You could be the next person through the door. I just got some triggers. It's hard to explain for me because it's caused a lot of problems in my life to where I'm like, it's something that I write about in my raps and stuff because, my anger is my biggest enemy. It's my biggest battle. It's put me in jail, in and out of jail since 10 years old, in and out of juvie in jail. I mean, my anger is my biggest struggle for sure. I just recently beat up my baby mama's boyfriend, almost killed him, had to snap myself out of it. When I get in that zone, I have to stop myself from hurting people. And that's what scares me the most that's what scared me the most coming up too, is that I was going to hurt somebody because I had a bad past where obviously I was flipping and all that good stuff. We can get into that. But I was hurting people. a lot.
Elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, but some people don't.
I was flipping. Out in Florence, Arizona, small town. Obviously, I'm a Neil. I got the jewelry on. I'm the city boy. I'm flipping the cocaine. I'm making the money. I'm making the trips back. Guy I'm working for, it works for who he works for. He don't play about his money. I get threats on my life. That means my money is now a threat to my life. If somebody plays with my money, I fuck you up because you fucking threatened my life. That was my whole. That was probably sophomore year to senior year. That's what I did. I was pretty much knocking on doors and collecting and getting disrespected and not taking well to it.
So the first time you got arrested, how old were you?
First time I got arrested, I was 10 years old. Me and my boy Austin right here, he ended up committing suicide in jail, but I got a story. The first time I got arrested, we went to this we went to a park and country club. We were bored kids, man. And Austin had told me some kid had called me a nigger during a basketball game. So I just fucking went up to the kid, asked him if he called me a nigger, and the kid was like, no. I told Austin to pull his phone out, and I hit him with a shot. I did it all for a video, right? And we ran from the cops that night. It's a big old park, so we end up like slipping away from him, we think. But the kid knows me from school. He knows me from school. He knows my name, everything. Yeah. So I get to school, and they call me to the office, and the first thing I see is cops and that kid and his mom. Yeah, I tried to run. I got my ass tackled so hard. As a fucking, this is 10 years old. So this is like 6th grade, maybe even 5th, right? So I'm getting tackled, and the juvie, and my anger problems, this is what helped me get out of a lot of the stuff I got into, is that on paper, I am psychotic on paper. Like, to the government, I'm a psychotic person. So it's been like that through school and everything.
So did you, when you were younger, use that as your,
that was my crutch.
Card?
That was my crutch for everything.
Crutch?
Yeah, that was my crutch for everything. But at the same time, when college scouts hear that and they want to give you a baseball scholarship, but they hear that you're psychotic and that you can't control your fucking anger and that you'll smack a coach with a helmet if he fucking talks to you the wrong way, Yeah.
That's a problem.
Right.
A problem.
It becomes a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I was a different type of crazy. Like, when I talk about it in my music and stuff and I say I'm crazy and my demons and all this, and people that know me know what I'm talking about, because there was a time where it was literally like I could be smiley and then out of nowhere I'm snapping off, and then I could literally just get through that snap off and sit back down and be like, okay, what we were talking about is like I was a scary person, especially when I was on coke. I was a scary person.
What's the longest amount of time you had to spend locked up, and what was it for?
The longest amount of time is a year. I ain't never had to spend a long time. And the year I spent locked up is actually on complete bullshit. It's me and my dad playing mind games, small town shit with each other. He had came over because I got kicked out of school and whooped on me, and I was mad about it. So I end up fucking going outside, breaking shit and all sorts of shit. And then I cut my dad off for that. I was like, fuck you, dad, all that good stuff. But my dad, he's kind of like a boss. Like, you mess with my dad, it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass. And like I said, it's small town shit. Cops know everybody. Like, he knew I was out there slanging the shit and he didn't want me to do it, but I would lie to him about it. So his idea to get me caught up was to try to catch me when I was in one of my episodes, because that's whenever he could call the cops and be like, oh, don't take him to jail, but this. Well, there's the day me and my little sister are arguing and she tells me to shut the fuck up. So I kick her in the butt. She calls my dad and says that I kicked her in the butt. So my dad takes the opportunity and he calls the cops and they come over and everything. But these cops have already had so many stories from my dad about me selling coke and how when you catch them, just bring them to me, that they're adamant about trying to find coke on me. And they don't. The only thing they find on me is this. I had ringworm at the time and I was rubbing medicine on it. They tested that and they were trying to make that out to be something. So I ended up going to jail and everything. I go through court and they said it was fucking meth on me. I was like, no, it's not. So those charges all got dropped, but they stuck with the ones that I kicked my sister in the butt. Why they brought me to jail? Because obviously I'm bipolar. When they brought me to jail, it was a scene. Like, people got recordings of me fucking smacking cops and them taking me out the house. So you make a scene when you go to jail, they're going to try to keep you in jail. Right?
It doesn't help.
Yeah, so they stuck with the domestic violence on a minor. I kicked my 10-year-old sister in the butt when I was 17. And yeah, that's the longest I spent in jail. But all the other ones, like I said, I played the fucking I'm insane card and I heard the wrong thing. That was my thing. That was my crutch.
Do you still use that crutch?
No, I can't now because I've been court ordered so much counseling, this, that. I'm psychotic on paper, but at the same time, they'll lock a psycho up in a mental. I'm an adult now. When I went to jail, I was 17, put in as an adult. They even if you look at my mugshot, they put me as a 19-year-old. I was 17 years old. So yeah. And you could see the crazy in my eyes. I mean, if you look at it's one of my album covers, man. I'm smiling at the camera. I was not in a good place. I was not in a good place at all, man. I had a bad time. I'm a full 180 from what I was. Like, yeah.
So let's talk about that. Album covers, your rap career. How old when you started your rap career? When you started
10. I was
kicking
10.
it with the homies, freestyling.
So I started out rock, bro. I thought I could sing for a little bit because I had a little squeaky voice. And obviously, weed will help. And I've been smoking weed since I was 10. So all that shit, I just thought I was a musician. So I had that little rock band stuff going, and then my mom would tell me that I'm actually good at writing. I should ghostwrite for people and stuff. I said, fuck that, because I couldn't sing. So she didn't want me to sing. So I started listening to like MGK, Eminem, and obviously I already listened to like what my brother listened to, 50 Cent, all that good stuff, like all that. But I was a Linkin Park kid. I'm Rise Against Linkin Park. Like I was a rock kid. I didn't really listen to rap. I started listening to rap, and I was like, I could do that easily. 10 years old, I drop a song. Literally, that's for my wife now. That's my fiance now. I made a song for her to go into 4th grade. I made a song for her. Drop it on YouTube and everything. It's the most screechy little piece of shit song. But I just I fell in love with the fucking music making part of it. So yeah, I just kept rapping. And then obviously I start going through some stuff and depression, and my anger starting to take play in my life. I'm selling coke. I'm beating people up, and it all just starts turning into, damn, Kenny Twitch. Like,
where'd that name come from?
Davian died. I was I'm a full demon, you know. I was Kenny Twitch. I was out here fucking people up, collecting my money. I was with my bloodshed, my whole family's blood, and they all know me as KT. They won't call me by my real name. I was out here whoop whoop whoop, this that, you know. So yeah, Kenny Twitch was my name. Don't call me by my government. That's why, like, I have a song that says, Mr. Never uses government name when addressing me. As far as I know, that man died. May him rest in peace. Because, like, yeah, I'm a full different person. The day my mom looked me in the eyes and said, because the way I got kicked out of my mom's house is she didn't blame. I kicked that kid's ass, and she was mad about it. And I didn't take responsibility for what I did. I flipped out. And my mom said she was scared of me, and I reminded her of my father. That's why she sent me to my father's house. That day, Davian died. I was like, all right, fuck Davian. Fuck this. I got Kenny Twitch. I've already been rapping a little bit. Everybody likes my music. Hell, this is the real me on this piece of paper more than I act off these meds and everything. So I threw the meds out the window. I said, fuck this. I'll be me. And Kenny Twitch is me. That's why I don't like Davian. If people call me Davian, I get straight upset because Kenny Twitch is me. That's me. I'm like a whole new person.
Where did you get the name Kenny Twitch from?
So Kenny is my middle name, Davian Kenneth. So middle name's Kenneth for Kenneth Neal. So Kenny, and then you got Twitch, which was me. It's just the instant. That's me. My dad gave me Twitch. It's just like you're here twitchy. 1 second, you're there. You're doing, and obviously people see me fight stuff that I used to do the Mayweather shell a whole bunch. You know, Twitch. It just came out, and the way I rap too, it was
that shit does fit though. You are twitchy as fuck.
Yeah,
that does fit. Yeah.
Okay, so Kenny Twitch, yeah, it just.
So, back to something you said a minute ago. 2 things. One, what kind of meds did they have you on? Do you remember?
Oh man, everything out of the book since kindergarten. I've been on Ritalin. I've been on Lamictron for mood stabilizers. Freaking Z words I don't even know how to say. I've been on Adderall. I've been on all that, and all those things do the opposite effect to me that it does to any normal person. Like, you take Adderall, you get mad focused. I take Adderall, I turn into a zombie. I don't want to do shit. You know, it's a whole different fucking effect for me, because like me, I'm already feeling how you guys feel when you take Adderall. My mind races. I want to focus on this thing, and I get mad focused on it. That's why you see me do so much, because like. Yeah, I was on meds for all that shit. When they told me I had ODD is when I finally started to disbelieve in the shit. Because I was like, y'all are just calling me odd. That's all you're doing. You calling me odd. You're saying I have ODD, overly defiant disorder. You're just saying I don't listen. That's all you're saying. So they had me on everything. And me and my mom have had a head-to-head for that, because I have a heart condition now, obviously, from taking meds from kindergarten, and I blame her for that 200%. And I've told her, like, I do not agree with your choice to put me on meds when I was in kindergarten up until I could decide that I didn't want them anymore. And keep in mind, 10 years old, I'm smoking weed, and I'm like, dude, I feel way better than I do off my medicine. So I'm trying to throw my medicine out windows. I'm sneaking away and not taking my medicine. I'm at my dad's house not taking my pills. So I'm having withdrawals and stuff from drugs as a fucking kid, because I'm on and off them, trying to be sneaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's a fascinating upbringing. It doesn't sound like you were in one place for too long a lot. Before we get into my next series of questions, we got a couple people in the chat real quick with a couple here. King Madness wants to see the link, and that was to the when you were 10 years old and you wrote that rap for your girl.
Oh man, it's probably still on the same Facebook I'm dropping music on today, to be honest with you.
It probably is, yeah.
It's terrible. You don't want to see it, dog. I mean, it's not terrible writing, but the singing in there, yeah, if you want to hear a 10-year-old kid sing, go ahead. I'm talking about mind. But here's the crazy part. I'm talking about mind games at 10 years old, about mind games I'm playing. Mm-hmm. I don't want to play my game. Yeah, it was gay.
Hey, damn, I'm looking this shit up.
Yeah.
So you said you wrote that for your girl at the time now. How old were you when you guys met?
4th grade when we met. So this had to be about 5th grade whenever I wrote this shit, because that's whenever we dated for the first time. And this girl has been my on and off, and except for in high school. In high school is the only time we didn't date each other. And then all of a sudden after high school, we found each other again and ended up getting engaged. So yeah, I've been knowing her for a long time, since I was 10 years old.
How long has it been off and on? You broke up a bunch of times?
Yeah, she ended up going to a different school, junior high and high school. But, you got the phone games and all that good stuff. Yeah. But yeah, she had her boyfriend or whatever, and I just stayed peeping for when she was single. Because my girl, if you know anything about my girl, she's one of the best. She's a CNA. She has her life together. She's polite. She's the woman of all trades, right? She cooks, she cleans, she does everything, and she doesn't have to be asked to do it. She does it. She's just that type of person. And I've always, when I look for a female, I always caught myself looking for a female that kind of looked like my 5th grade girlfriend, right? You always look for your first girlfriend, right? So when I had the chance to bag my first girlfriend, I had to get my first girlfriend, right? So that's who I ended up with, especially after all I went through and knocking up 2 girls and, not having the best of relationships with them, what I was doing while I was with them and how they had no care for what the fuck I was doing as long as I was bringing them home money. Yeah, it was just like, okay, I need to find where my balance was at. When was I happy Davian? And if we go back to find when I was happy Davian, you got to go all the way back to 4th, 5th grade, Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I got 2. I got a daughter that might not even be my daughter because it was off hoe shit, and I still need that DNA test and all bullshit. Don't talk to. The girl played games for the first 3 years of her life and then moved away and hasn't hit me up since. So I don't know if I have 2 kids. I have 1 for sure kid.
Yeah, so you might get that knock on the door in about 10 years, huh?
Yeah. I got played on that one.
I feel that.
I got 1 for sure. It's Akil Kenneth Neal. He has my Muslim name. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my son, born and raised. Yeah. When I had him was when I was like, okay, this coke shit needs to stop. This fucking.
How old were you?
Yeah, I was 19 whenever I had Akil. So I was like, this coke shit needs to stop. This cheating on bitches needs to stop. This not having nowhere to live. Hanging out with the blood homies every day, trying to find the next beef to get into. All this shit needs to stop. Not going to play no sports. This was the first time in my life I haven't got up off the couch to play any sports. I'm 19 years old. And I shit you not. It was a bad time for me. Like when I say, I was watching that X documentary today, right? And they were talking about his mental state and how depressed he was. And when I say I was there. Like, I'm surprised I came out of it without a tattoo all over my face and body. If I had money, it probably would have been because I was there. I still have days where I'm just fucking. I have a lot. I have a lot that goes on in my head. So,
let's talk about the fighting now. I know we waited a little while, but I needed everybody to kind of get a feel because in my dealings with you. Your fighting, your training, that's your new
That's me. That's me now.
That's how you control a lot of the issues you've had in the past. That's I don't want to say it's your crutch, but that's your tool right now. So when did you, obviously you've been fighting forever, but when did you start taking up actual martial arts?
So I've been fighting forever. Big family, big meals, fighting's in the name. We obviously boxed in the backyard and stuff, but we just did what we saw on TV and what my dad would get closer, crowd his range, stuff like that. Dad would shout out because my dad was Gold Gloves. And the tournaments and all that good stuff that we go see our cousins do. So I've been around fighting forever, but it wasn't until 20 years old where I was like, okay, I hit Ant up because I wanted to come out to Street Beefs. Actually, I fucking called out Turk because I still want that match. I called out Turk because I saw him box, and I knew what I could do in the backyard at that day. I thought I could beat Turk. So I'm like, yeah, let's try this. I go and I meet up with Ant for a sparring session. He whoops my ass. And I'm like, okay, I got to learn how to box. But I already signed up for Streetbeefs Westcoast too. So I got to go out there and just do what I know how to do, and that's just fight.
How did you hear about it? How did you hear about it?
When I called out Turk, obviously you call out somebody, Sunshine's quick about, hey, you want to fight? We can get you a fight. Boom.
So when you called out Turk, you just did it on like Instagram or something?
Twitter. It was on Twitter. It was, I think it blew up a little bit. It was Twitch versus Turk for a little bit there because I'm a rapper. I mean, I was buzzing at the time in Arizona. I completely stepped away from my buzz as a rapper in Arizona, like I was on a good up, and I was just like, fuck this. I'm going to go fight because I needed to. I really needed to let some of the shit I was doing out. So, yeah, I called out Turk. That fight didn't happen, but I ended up at West Coast 2 against Dyro, and I was just like, okay, I'm just going to go out there and fight. No training, one sparring session, but real no training, nothing. I'm just going to go out there and fight. That worked out for me for a little bit there, but I gassed out. Yeah. So from there, it was like, and I'm that type of competitive person where it was like, oh, fuck that. I'm going to show everybody. And that's whenever Heel KT came out, and I said, listen, I'm looking at the boxers in here. I know I could beat Battleborn. I know I can go against Diesel. Give me 2 years and I'll be against Mook. That's whenever I made that big old call out because I was like, I know what I'm going to do for myself. I don't give a fuck what y'all believe I can do. I know what the fuck I'm going to do for myself. I'm going to put myself in these matches and I'm going to fight my ass off. And I don't think people ever understood that because they didn't understand what was going on through my mind at that time. Like if you were at the Dyro fight, when I gave up on that match, that was probably the closest y'all have seen me to a full breakout, except I didn't have no fucking energy to fucking really be snapping off. I was just fucking pissed. So the shit you heard me yelling out like fucking, fuck everything, fuck my, yeah, that was like the closest you could see me to one of my spazzing sessions. Well, get the fuck away from me when people are trying to help me and shit. Yeah.
So after you took the Dyro fight, you gassed. I think that happens to a lot of us. There's a lot of people, their first fight, they go, I'm ready for this. And you get in there and you do it, and you're like, fuck, I am not ready for this. And then you go back to the drawing board.
I did that. Quite a few fights in the streets against multiple people, this, that. Boxing just different.
Competitive combat sports is a lot different than fighting in the streets.
In the ring.
It really is. Yeah. Knowing it's coming up, jumping in the ring. It's a lot different.
That and traveling. I'm used to walking out the backyard, smoking my blunt. I mean, I still slow up to training with a blunt in my fucking mouth. It's just a habit for KT. I mean, I'm just used to being that guy to come outside. Oh, this guy wants a box. Let's grab the fucking Walmart gloves from inside and box. But it wasn't like that when you showed up to Street Beefs.
No. So, like I said, you show up, you realize you're like, oh, fuck. This is how it really is. I need more training. I need more lungs. I need more everything.
Right.
You hit up Ant again at the time. You had already met him by then.
I've known Ant since about 14. He was a good friend with my friend Austin. We're mutual friends through our friend Austin.
Okay, so you hit Ant up.
Austin, man. He's gone forever, but he's still remembered. Yeah.
Did you, Ant and Austin, did you say you guys were running a little crew back in the day?
Me and Ant, I don't know how much business Ant want me to put out here. But yeah.
Don't put Ant business out.
me, Ant, and Austin weren't the best of kids running around. If we hit you up for something, we're probably robbing you for it.
Yeah, I remember when we trained a couple times. I heard a couple stories. I won't repeat right now. Statute of limitations and everything. Statute of limitations.
I got one that don't put Ant in no criminal spotlight. We got my boy Austin picks me up from Florence, right? And he's like, "Yo, we gonna go pick up some tree." I'm like, "All right, cool." I'm thinking we're literally gonna go pick up some tree, like we're gonna go buy the shit. We get around the corner from the guy's house. He's like, "Yo, bro, I'm gonna need you to stick this guy, take his tree, and go." And Austin was asking me to do it, and I'm like, "Yo, okay, fuck it," right? Because I was like, "Fuck it," Ant's driving. So I don't know why Austin won't do it. He just won't do it. It's like somebody he knows or something. He won't do it. So I get the tree. I ask him if I could smell it. That was his mistake. He let me smell it. I hit him with a right hook. He tried to grab my leg. I just hit him a couple times. And then fucking get in the car and we drive off. And these guys are shooting at us and all sorts of shit because fucking we just stole a half ounce from them. Yeah, we done had a couple stories with Ant taking off.
I remember there's a couple of them. Yeah, I heard a couple of them.
There's a couple of them.
And
that was a bad kid, man. That was a bad kid.
Were you in jail at the time Austin was in jail and that he ended his life?
When Austin ended his life, Austin had ended up getting into meth and crack and a whole bunch of stuff, slanging it, and he liked to do what he slanged. So I didn't even he had seen me like 2 months before. I tried to get him a job at where I was working construction and everything, and that day he got me pretty pissed off because he showed up 2 hours late to go to work. We get to work and he doesn't want to be there. So it's like it's just two friends like, all right, man, you're on two different tracks of your life. So that day I ended up telling him, you need to get your life together. You need to get off the shit. This, that. I'm here for you, but don't hit me up for no dumb shit like robbing people or nothing like that. I'm here for you as a brother. 3 months go by. I hear from him again. Yeah, I'm doing better. And then about a year goes by. I hear he's been locked up. He got caught on the side of the road with a whole bunch of pills and meth and stuff in his car. And he hung himself in prison. And Austin's never been the type to roll with any white people. He's a white boy that does not agree with any type of racism or anything. He will he's white boy. He literally would call himself white boy just to fit in with black crews. Like he knew who he wanted to be around. So I think he hung himself. First of all, because he wasn't in the right mindset after all them drugs and all that. But second of all, you know how prison works. You got to segregate. And he used to say it all the time. Fuck that. Anybody ever tries to rape me, segregate me, I'll hang myself. I'll kill myself right there on spot. They locked me in prison for more than 4 years. I'm hanging myself because me and Austin, we were suicidal, man. I was suicidal at one point in my life. And I still have fucking bad days, but Austin wasn't kidding. He took his chance and he ran with it.
Sorry to hear that, my man.
Yeah,
it's
so I fight for him right now.
Tough.
That Austin match and everything. Yeah, I'm like, okay, I got stuff to do, because this shit we talked about when we were younger.
Yeah. You so we were talking about your rap career. Let's jump back to that real quick. So Kenny Twitch is the name. You started rapping around 10 years old. When did you first release your first real record to where you're like, okay, this is Kenny Twitch. This is not just me fucking around.
So I blew up at 13 on Facebook with a video where I'm walking down the street and I'm rapping and to a Hobson DJ Hopper beat. And that's whenever I realized, oh shit, I could rap because it was like a 6-minute rap. And I was just going fast the whole time. And I don't know. Everybody just started blowing up my phone. I was 13 years old, so this, that. And I knew I could rap. And that's whenever everything took over. And this is actually when Kenny Twitch kind of comes because Davian literally died. Like, there was a day where I had some situation going on with 2 girlfriends at the same time, and I didn't want to deal with it no more. So Austin told the bitch I died, and then my friend Menace told the bitch I died, and then they faked a whole car crash. They went too far with the shit, right? I'm asleep. They went too far with the shit. Faked the whole car crash, all this. Had a memorial picture. So Davian died. Like, literally, I had a fake death I had to explain for and everything. So, yeah. I went viral at 13 for rapping. Then I fucked it up by dying. and then kind of getting viral again. Not viral, but I'm getting up there again. People listening to me. Some people stuck around.
That's nuts. The homies faked your death for you.
Yeah, while I was asleep. Because
was it just a couple posts or something? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it wasn't even posted. It was text messages to 2 girls, but obviously the girls get this information. It pops off.
Yeah, they ran with that shit.
People texting my phone, my mom calling me, dad calling me. I'm like, no, I'm fine. This, that. Oh my God, they made it look so real. Fuck. And man, I was in the shitter on that one. I had people fucking pissed at me, and I was like, it wasn't even me. It was these guys fucking high as hell on the couch making up lies.
Just a couple texts. So okay. So I know now. Just plug that rap right now, because I know a lot of people haven't really heard some.
You look me up.
Posted quite a bit of it.
Yeah, if you look me up on YouTube or SoundCloud, Spotify, all that stuff, I'm all over the place.
He's on Apple Music.
Yeah, Apple Music, all of it. I stepped away from rap to become a fighter. So now that I have some free time, rapping is going to be something I'm doing a lot coming up. So I'm going to have a lot of music coming out on KT Music. You just look it up. It's all caps. KT Music on YouTube. Kenny Twitch, Spotify, Kenny Twitch, SoundCloud, Kenny Twitch 1 on Instagram, Kenny Twitch. My name is my name. You look up Kenny Twitch, you'll find Kenny Twitch. Or you'll find some people named Kenny on a Twitch stream. But you ain't going to find nobody else in the rap industry with the name like that.
Good. So, you know what? Diesel asked a question a minute ago. What were your first thoughts after losing
fuck, you know? That was my
right there, yeah.
Because the first thing I said was I had my boy Dax with me. I said, was I winning? He said, you were fucking him up. And I was like, fuck, I already stepped out the ring. I'm already done. Like, I already said no. Yeah. I was pissed. I was pissed at myself.
So you hit Ant up after that fight. Y'all started training. I can't remember. I don't know when I showed up into that. But I remember I showed up to a little bit of training. You had already fought Dairo at that point, didn't you?
Yeah, I already fought Dairo, and I had to find somebody to train with. I think my first ever comeback training session with Ant, you were already there. You guys had already had one because I missed the first one.
Yeah, I think one because it was after Streetbeefs Westcoast too, because I signed up for that and they didn't pick me.
Yeah, because that first ever one I came back training, we sparred you. You taught me things about my jab and stuff. I went to Knockout Fitness and got trained by Zach a little bit there.
Yeah,
those boxing coaches. Yeah, I fell deep into it. I hit up my dad. I hit up my uncles. If you know me, I'm a wandering fighter. I learn from everybody and everything.
Yeah, and I remember we started Sonora Scrap House at the time, right. And that was a bunch of AZ fighters putting it on real quick for Street Beefs. And a couple other organizations. I know O'Malley was fighting for a couple of spots.
Right.
When you still have that, like you're still part of that. After that first fight, break that down to how that came to be and where it's at now, and walk us through the fights after that.
Man, it came to the group chat where we were all just getting together to train and everything. And then I was like, I like this group of guys. You guys are teaching me a lot. And I'm a person where I stick with my day ones no matter what's going on. So I'm like, okay, yeah, we need a team name. I'm going to make some merch. I was like, I'm going to get this. We're a team now, guys. Y'all are my team. As far as I'm concerned, even if you don't want to be, you're my team. When it comes to fights, when I say shout out to this team, this is the people I'm talking about. So that's how that kind of just came apart. I was posting my training videos, and I was like, I need something to call us, because, And right now it's pretty much me. Ant Goodnight shows up, but I'm still Sonora Scrap House. I'm gonna carry it.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Because I remember being in the chat
too. I'm a strong believer that Sonora Scrap House fighters all fight alike, and we have our own type of fight style. And if you what did he just go by? I forget what name he went by. Our homeboy just fought in this last Arizona event from Sonora Scrap House, had one training session with us. Fought like a Scrap House fighter. Yeah, so I'm like, I like the way we train. I feel like it's a style now.
Who was it?
What did he go by? I think he went by Menace.
Menace.
think that's what he called himself.
Good. And he fought for like a amateur organization out here?
No, he fought Streetbeefs Westcoast 16.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, so who was your second fight with?
Skywalker. That's what he fought. He fought Skywalker.
Okay. And he's Sonoran Scrap House? That's fun.
Yeah, Menace is Sonoran Scrap House now too.
Yeah. So who's your second fight against?
My second fight, that was Droppy Bungas out here in Arizona. And man, I wanted to knock out so bad in that fight. Y'all could see hair changed, freaking shaved face, gloves on. If you saw me at the event, I was all serious, and I just couldn't get that guy to stay in the fucking ring for the death of me. But I was going for the knockout that whole fight.
Because you guys just had mats for that. It was just mats you were standing on. Yeah, I remember that.
It was at Clutches. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay, and so you're head hunting. You learn after that fight, and then you progress to your third fight.
I headhunt in the Droppy Bungas fight, but listen, the Droppy Bungas fight, I was 145, maybe even less, and nobody showed up for my weight class. Droppy Bungas came in at 173, maybe even more, and then it came to the end of the day where it was like, raise your hand if you want to fight. I raised my hand. He raised his hand. I said, I'll take a 170-pounder.
It is what it is.
Yeah, took 170. So I got that 170 fight, and I learned so much from about composing myself. I lasted all the rounds. I was able to let out volume. At that point, I was like, all right, I'm about to stick my claim. I'm about to try to become one of the best boxers in this division. So I made the fucking post, the legendary post. Everybody knows it. I told everybody they better be ready. They better be training because all I'm going to do is adapt from here. Yeah, that started it all. And then you got Battleborn.
And then you did. You did adapt. Yep. And Battleborn was next.
I did everything I said I was going to do. Everything, except for come home with the title on my waist. I came home with a draw. So, yeah, I did everything except for come home with it.
Yeah, so that Battleborn fight, how did that come to be? Because
hey, man,
fight for you.
I made the classic call out for Diesel, right? I said, Diesel, you better be training all this, Mook. All the people I thought were good boxers in my division, and Battleborn felt disrespected because I didn't mention him, so he commented on it, and that turned into a whole me and Battleborn talking back and forth. You know, me making him my baby and then blowing him kisses and all sorts of stuff. And then you got the trifecta triple threat with me, Battleborn, Diesel just sitting there talking smack to each other. So the Battleborn fight was like the first fight where I really talked my talk and I had to go in there and walk my walk. And if I say so, I think I won that fight. I think I did go out there and walk my walk, talk my talk. So, and we got the draw in that fight. And from there, like I said, confidence just kept going. But at the same time, I was like, I don't want everybody to fucking hate me every time I fight. Because that Battleborn fight, everybody wanted me to get my head knocked off. Nobody could say they didn't. If you listen to the fight, you're hearing everybody yell out tips for Battleborn. And I'm there just like a fucking Lone Ranger.
Yeah, Battleborn's arguably one of the toughest guys in that division. To be honest, he probably is. Like, Diesel's super fucking tough. But I just something about Battleborn, like his brain doesn't compute. Yeah, it doesn't compute not punching you in the face.
Right.
Like there's no time where he's like, okay, I need to maneuver out of the way or play defense. He doesn't purposely play
Which
defense.
is why in the Battleborn fight, I did a lot of talking, a lot of moving around, a lot of hey, and then countering because I knew that like if I can get him to stop his normal bounce that he does when he does in Muay Thai fights and stuff, then I can get his rhythm off. And that was my biggest thing for Battleborn fight, get his rhythm.
Yeah, Battleborn is a very, very tough opponent for anybody who fights him. So, and just getting a draw in that is impressive.
Right.
I mean, you saw what he just did to his last opponent.
And and he had just came off a knockout. I mean, I went straight from everybody thinking I was shit because I didn't last in the Dyro fight. I mean, I was the underdog in that fight. Everybody was like, you're not going to last. How are you going to last past 2 rounds? What's your cardio like? They were screaming, I'm tired during the fight. I knew I was evolved. I knew I'm at a new KT. So I came out there and showed it. And then right after that, got to calling out Diesel because I was like, I'm going to come out here and improve some more. But then we got the whole East Coast thing that popped up, and I was like, oh, I'll take this fight. And that was a great fight for me. I loved that fight.
Tell everybody about it.
I thought they could have stopped that fight earlier. I knocked him down twice. One of them they didn't even call a knockdown. I was out there just feeling myself. So that whole Dat Boss, Brick's cousin, that whole fight was weird for me because I was on my like little high rise of talking shit and everything, and then it was going to the East Coast and making the promo video for it and talking shit to Dat Boss, where nobody on the East Coast really knows who I am or why I'm talking shit like this.
Right? Yeah.
It was just like, okay, let me just go put on a performance and show people I'm Prince KT, this, that. And it was one of the most surreal moments of my life is getting in the ring, Scarface going, wait, what's your name? I said, Prince KT. He goes, oh. And I was like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. He knows my name. He knows that name at least. He knows Prince KT makes noise somewhere, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
That's super dope. That was a fascinating event. There was a lot of names from the West Coast that started to get circulating from that event. It really was. Okay, so you go out there, you fight that boss, you put on a clinic. At that point, you're like, I'm ready for the big time.
At that point, I've already had 2 months of talking shit to Diesel, a poster made, everything. Yeah, Diesel got the title fight with Battleborn off me hurting my shoulder during the Dat Boss fight. So yeah, Diesel got that, and obviously with me commentating and everything, I wanted to make sure that I kept my name. My name was in their ears. They didn't just have somebody talking shit that they were going to throw to the side. So I made sure everything they did, I stayed on their ass about it, and everything. And that was just my whole game plan to get me into the title shot, to get my respect as a fighter, because I know that people were watching my training videos and were more worried about trying to give me tips than watching what I was actually working on or what I was actually developing already. And yeah, I wanted to show in the Diesel fight that there is no doubt about it. I'm a fucking boxer now. If I wanted to go amateur right now, I can go amateur right now and probably be pretty high ranked and probably go pro the next year like I plan to do. I'm on my track, and that's what I do. I call my shot and I fucking make sure I get it done because it's the only thing I have right now. It's my responsibility to myself.
Yeah. You honestly, in my opinion, you prove you were a boxer in your second fight. Just going from somebody who thinks they can fight to somebody who learned to fight and knows they know how to fight. By the time you fought Battleborn, you were well cemented as a legitimate boxer in your division, easily.
Right.
So the Diesel fight, it's a very, very polarizing fight. Walk me through that. Have you went back and studied that tape? I'm assuming you have.
Yeah, man, I've watched it, and I any way I put it, I think I took 3 rounds of the fight. I think he hit me hard, but never wobbled, never looked like he says there should be 2 standing accounts. I think even when my mouthpiece got knocked out, I was swinging at him before he hit me. And I'm like, yeah, I think I won 3 rounds of the fight, but I'm also okay with the draw because I know how Street Beef scores it. Like, this is what I was saying when commentating this last event with the BDW and Earthling 7 fight. If I'm going to throw flicking jabs, if I'm going to put light points up on the board, then I can't be fucking mad that Street Beef scored it as a more damaging fight because Diesel hits hard. I should have went in there and just started hitting hard. I kept letting them crowd me. I was throwing short little shots where whenever I throw them, you can't really fucking do. They're not doing nothing. So I see why Street Beef scored it a draw, but I wouldn't have taken a loss. If it got scored a loss, I probably would have been throwing a bitch fit.
So he does make you stifle your punches in that fight. I've watched it a couple times. He does force you to stifle your punches in that fight, and it's very, very hard for somebody as long as you are in your range to get punches off in the cup like that. So and then you were talking about at one point in time after the Diesel fight, you were switching to MMA.
I am.
You're also talking right now about going pro in boxing. What is your path that you're about to take?
Well, right now, you look at me and Ant sparring boxing right now, and it's fucking almost like 2 pros spar. It's fucking intense. So I got to go. I'm not boxing in street beefs. It's not going to happen. I need to go put an amateur, because what happened to Cody really is like something that I do not want. I don't want fines. I don't want to have to take suspensions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go box probably like a cup, maybe a lot of amateur fights. I don't know. It depends on whoever the fuck's coaching me, whoever the fuck whoever's promoting me. I'm going to go box amateur, but I'm hoping to go pro within the next 2 years.
What's your path to that? Are you joining the gym? Which gym are you joining? Is it a pure boxing gym? Right. Is it an MMA gym?
I want to go back and join Knockout maybe, but I also have so many pro people that are already pro boxers that are already 15-0 that I know so closely. Like my step cousin pretty much that's always at my step fucking dad's house is Trini Ochoa. He's 15-0 at my division in pro boxing. I got Mickey Scala, who fights for Floyd Mayweather's team. If you guys look him up, he's knocking everybody out. I've played football with him my whole life, and they got gyms all out in Arizona. It's just right now money and putting myself there.
I would suggest skipping Jab or Knockout Fitness. It's not really, that's a fitness gym, not a boxing gym. Right. If you're going to invest in it, definitely hit up one of the homies that you were just talking about and go to a pure boxing gym. Right. If you really want to do that, that's what you do.
Yeah. And the reason with amateur and stuff, because I want to see if I'm being delusional or if I'm actually putting out these fucking points I think I'm putting out. You know?
Yeah. Zach Pinnell, is that Lil Mac? Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Looks like it is. Okay. So who's he gunning for?
At least I know I'm not as delusional as Diesel is about this fight. He says I won 1 round at best. Everybody in the comment section will tell you didn't even pick up your hands and start throwing until the 3rd round. So I don't know how that happened. How you think that?
I think I might talk to the production crew, the Wero and the Mexican production crew, and maybe do some punch stats for that fight. We can get that shit settled once and for all, because the numbers don't lie.
You know what else we need settled? We need, because this was brought up on Earthing 7 about stepping on the scale. Mm-hmm. Also stepping on the scale the right weight. Because I was 143 and Diesel was overweight. I was underweight. Yes. He was overweight.
Yeah, I agree. I think for title fights, we need to be a little bit stricter.
Yeah. Because that was pushed. I mean,
at the same time,
I knew what I was fighting.
You know, like, for instance, myself at Golden Arms, I came in at like 202, 200, something like that. And he came in at 214. He's still within the, the 202 to 224, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So I don't really know how much we can push that. Yeah. Like, what'd you come in at? I'm sure
I was 143.6. So I really was at bantamweight. I wasn't even 145, which I thought.
And you were fighting for the belt in
featherweight,
155, right?
Yeah, 145 to 155.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically, he was in the right. That was your bad for not.
Yeah. It was fucked up. It was like, I thought, because I weighed myself before I left the house, I thought I was 146.
Yeah, I know. It's sometimes it's you're not wrong. 916, you're not wrong. I know there's a lot of guys that like to wear heavier gloves. It's easier to hide behind those heavier gloves,
my gloves are probably the most expensive, one of the most expensive ones out there. I got the Hayabusa purple 12-ounce fucking,
Yeah, mine. I got the Hayabusas too. I know there's quite a few guys with the fight with those. And
I
they're like $150 gloves.
Yeah,
for sure.
Those are my things. I love things.
Coup d'etat right here. My man's put on a performance the other day. Didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I kept getting his name. I kept saying coup. No, I kept saying Coop instead of coup.
Everybody says Coop.
Yeah.
And honestly, we should all just call him Coop. It's Coop. It just sounds better. But nah, coup d'etat. That's also my man's post more. That's a funny dude, man. I love his post. He's a funny dude. But yeah, so your goal, you want to be a professional boxer. But you did talk about MMA. Where's your goal with street beefs from here on out?
MMA and street beefs. I want to be known as somebody that fought boxing matches in the street. He fought MMA matches in the street. He was a pro boxer. because I'm doing wrestling. Like, guys, I've been in love with WWE since I was a young. Doing wrestling. That's what's gonna happen. Hey, fucking bitch. But yeah, my dog's being a fucking ass. My bad. So yeah, this is all to build a character, because at the end of the day, I will be in the freaking WWE jumping like Jeff Hardy off ladders and stuff, and people are gonna. This is my way of pretty much not having to do some of the hardcore moves in wrestling, because people will know me as a striker, as somebody that used to fight. You know, I saw how Ronda Rousey took her route to wrestling and what she does out there, and I'm like, all you got to do is be a little bit of a fighter, and they make wrestling safe for you. And it's like, okay. Yeah. And I love entertaining. I'm an entertaining guy. It's my thing. It's the thing. I'm put on a face. I'll play the heel. I'll play the baby face. I'll be whatever you want me to be. You know, like I said, I don't even go by my real name anymore. It just feels like all life is just a game sometimes.
I feel that. So when's the next time we're gonna see you in that cage?
Well, Lil Mac signed up for 18, and he said we definitely got to get that work in sometime. Lil Mac, if Diesel keeps ducking you, man, I'll put the work in with you. I'll get you, man, because, you a great fighter, and I'd love that work too. So maybe 18, because my work's been asking me when I'm going to fight again. I think it's been showing, because fighting is my outlet. Like, it is my bipolar outlet, and I become more of an asshole when I'm not fighting, for sure.
Same. I agree. Yeah.
So, Lil Mac, if you want to snap me back into reality, if you want to try to snap me back into reality, I'll take that fight, man. I'll do it.
I think Lil Mac wants that Diesel scrap.
Yeah, he wants it bad.
I think he just wants to spar with you, though.
He wants to train with
you. That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah. And man, I'm always at the Wero season now. Now that the gen's open, I'm there. I'm here. I'm ready.
And I'm gonna say this to you, and this goes to anybody in Arizona, bro. I got a little gym in the backyard. It's not great.
It's great,
shit, but you guys are more than welcome to swing through, and we'll all do some training sessions and shit. KT uses it all the time. Anybody wants to use it, it will get better. We put a couple more pieces of equipment in there. I got the fuck is that thing called? Elliptical.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah, we got elliptical in there. So I in the next month or two, I'm getting some power run back there, so we'll be able to fire up some of this shit.
I like be much how better it is right now. When you got the AC on in there, but it's still hot outside, so it's almost like you're training in like half a sauna. It's fucking dope.
Yeah. The temperature is not too bad when you're out there training. I just don't, I got dumbbells and shit back there, and they're rubber coated. It gets really hot. I don't want to fuck with all that. So, but
honestly, I feel like if I took a boxing match right now, I would shut up. I'd do way better than I did in the Diesel fight. I don't think I did well in the Diesel fight as well as I should have done compared
you did
to
well. You get better every fight.
But I don't even like really saying this. I was sick as fuck all day long at the Diesel fight. And I just had to get the fight over with. So yeah, there's a lot. I think about it goes through my brain.
Hey, to co-sign that, I remember you walking up to the venue. He was walking up, and I happened to be outside, and I walked up to him, and you look sick. I said something. I was like, dude, are you feeling okay? Because you looked sick as shit.
I sat in the corner and just waited on the fight. I just sat there and waited. And it was like, I'm sick, but I've talked my shit, and we're here now.
Yeah, I mean, because sick is not it's not an option once you show up.
No.
You can't be sick day of. You just gotta fight it out. It is what it is. Yep.
Exactly. And I'm big on I'm a talker. I'll be in that ring. I don't care. I'm a talker. I'll say whatever I want. But if any of you motherfuckers got a problem with me, I'm sure got 5 fingers that I'd love to put across your face if you have a problem with me. Because it's just me. That's just me.
How did your girl feel about your fighting? And you said fiance. When are you guys getting married?
She probably this year. Most likely this year. It just depends because we got a whole bunch of stuff going on with her side of the family right now. Her mom just passed away.
Sorry to hear that.
Most likely this year.
Okay.
Most likely this year, but she loves it. She like I said, I become an asshole if I'm not fighting. So she's usually the one that says,
cool
"Man, take a fight or something like that."
And then for your honeymoon, you can go to Vegas.
Right.
On Saturday during the day, fight, and then have a honeymoon that night.
She loves the Vegas trips, but she don't like whenever we go with a whole bunch of people, which every time we've gone so far has had to be with a whole bunch of people. She kind of wants to just have that trip out to Vegas where it's all us. So I think I might go out there for even a commentating gig one time.
Yeah. I think you're commentating on the live streams. How did that come about? Did Daniel just hit you up and ask if you want to do it?
He asked if it came from shit talking to Diesel and being funny on these podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
But he hit me up and asked if I wanted to do it for I believe it was 12. I think it was West Coast 12. I did it. And I don't know. People liked it. People said KT's commentary is good. All I did was do what I've seen on TV, right? I've seen UFC, wrestling, all sorts of stuff. I kind of try to mix it to be a bit of like funny, and at the same time, I'm telling y'all what's going on in the fight. So I put a little bit of like a WWE aspect into there where they'll tell you what's going on in the fight, but they'll make their own little side comments too. So yeah, that's where commentating came out of. I like doing it because I've seen it be done, and I think I'm good at it. And it's another thing. I like to keep my career options open. And I'm like, yeah, I could do that too. So anything I find that I have a little niche for, I'm gonna keep going on it.
Yeah, Diesel just said you're the best commentator he's seen so far, and that's your arch nemesis right there.
Yeah. No, he's not my arch nemesis, man. Diesel.
That's your arch nemesis. You guys are like enemies, but that's
like Batman and Joker, right?
Yeah.
Like, we love each other because we're good for the community. No, yeah. I like commentating, man. And on this last one, I think I fucking slipped up. I kind of get hard on myself. I'm like, man, I wasn't commentating most of the fight or anything like that, So yeah, I like it. I try to keep good with it.
Yeah, with the commentating,
exactly.
I found
caffey type commentating. There you go.
Yeah, I have found that you could slip that comedy in there, but also every now and then you tend to try to break down what people are trying to do, and I think that helps a lot because there's a lot of people that watch the fights that don't necessarily know.
Well, I sit here with my wife, right, and we watch a lot of fights. Every UFC fight, we're watching fights all the time, and she's brand new to this fighting world and stuff. But she'll tell you in the last year she could be a fight commentator with how much I call out. She told me a long time ago, why don't I commentate fights? Because I'll say things and then Joe Rogan will say them 2 fucking minutes later. So I'm like, I see things in fights that I don't think people are really looking for. They're just trying to look for the violence. And I'm like, but you got to look for this. You got to look for that. And that's where I just kind of wanted to put into Street Beefs because I know that people go out there and they just see 2 people in the ring fighting in a cage, trying to go hard. But there could be one person in that cage that has a whole bunch more skill than this person. There could be 2 equal fighters in this cage. There could be one guy with a better right hand, and that's all he has is the better right hand, but he's not throwing it. I'm going to be the guy to comment on that because I want these fighters to be able to see it when they go back to watch their fight. If you know me, the first thing I do when I leave the ring anytime I fight is go up to either you, WA, or somebody and ask, what the fuck do I need to fix? It's the first thing I ask. It's like, hey, what wasn't I doing?
Yeah. Let me answer this. 916 MMA, I don't know that anybody has it. Boxing, I know for sure nobody has it right here. He just answered. Golden Arms had it, but he stepped away due to surgery because I punched really hard. Yeah. KT, it's been real, homie. I appreciate you coming on, my man.
No problem, no problem. I got Lil Mac and Lil Diesel fucking fired up in the chat now. I did my job today.
Lil Mac, I'll be in touch, homie. You and Diesel will definitely, if you signed up and y'all are fighting, we'll be in touch. This isn't quite the show for it, but Wero and the Mexican is, so we're going to be in touch, homie. I got you. Yep. All right, KT, you have a good night, bro. And again,
you have a great one.
You being on, bro.
No, thank you for having me on. Love what you guys are doing. Peace out, man.
For sure. All right, homie. Yeah, so we have. I know Locked In has been struggling a little bit lately. It's been a lot going on, but we'll be firing it back up here real soon. We'll have a few more guests on. Got a couple people from Dirty South I'm trying to link up with. So we have some good episodes coming through. Appreciate everybody, man. You guys have a good night.